You're listening to the PT Profit Podcast, episode number 362. Today, I'm sitting down with funnel expert Michelle Fernandez, and we're discussing how to increase sales conversions without pressure or even more leads with an all-in-one tech platform that's easy to use, even if you're not techie. Are you ready? Let's dive in.
Hi, I'm Beverly Simpson, former fitness manager turned online personal training business owner. And this podcast is where smart fitness professionals, including trainers and clinicians, discover how to increase client performance in movement, package and position their products and services, and get out of their own way so that they can increase their revenue to live a life that they love without sleazy sales. Welcome to the PT Profit Podcast.
What's up, Coach? Thank you so much for pushing play on another episode of the PT Profit Podcast. I'm super happy that you're here, and I recognize that we have a doozy of a episode for you today. Me and my friend Michelle went live in the free Facebook group to give you a behind-the-scenes look of the number one tech tool that I use inside of my business as a multiple six-figure business owner that has helped me increase my conversion without spending an extra dollar on leads. And just because of setting up this simple tech, I was able to increase my conversion rates without changing a thing. Plus, it saved me time and money. And it's such a powerful tool. I wanted to bring it to you and show you a behind the scenes look. Now, as you're listening to this podcast and you realize, oh, this is something that I want to try out, then we have a very special link that we will put in the show notes. It's www.optima.com/BSF. And inside of there, we have put together some very special plug and play templates that are easy to use. So if you already know that you want to go all in on this platform, then click the link in the show notes. Otherwise, stay with us till the end of this episode and you'll hear all about why it's one of the most powerful tools on the internet today. Are you ready? Let's dive in.
Hey, what's going on? Oh my gosh, just want to make sure. Okay, I want to make sure that y'all are here. We're live in the right spot. I'm super pumped to really dive in today. Welcome to the training. I'm super excited to have my friend Michelle Fernandez here and come and do a presentation for us all on how we can double your income and your profit on a monthly basis in a consistent and predictable way. So if you're here joining me live, let us know in the comments. Okay, so we're doing this fancy smancy thing where we are in two different locations. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to be monitoring the chat. So any questions that are coming up, you can go ahead and put them in the group and I'll be able to share them with Michelle and we'll ask her in real time as we go. So I'm super excited to dive in. So let's go ahead and get that done. So first of all, by the time you finish your time with us today, by the end of this training, you are going to walk away with a full understanding of the essential marketing systems that we have, that every smart and successful coach has in place, whether you're just starting out or you're trying to scale. And the best part is these systems are specifically designed to help you generate income without living on social media, without grinding and hustling 12 to 14 hours a day, using the leads that you likely already have and more efficient ways to maximize your time so that you can increase your profit and your income. We're also going to give you a behind the scenes look at a simplified tech process so that you can execute this in less time, even if you feel like you're not techie. And even if you feel like tech is hard and it's not your thing, a simple plug and play process. Plus, we'll give you a step-by-step blueprint that will show you how you can implement some of these components that we're going to be talking about today. Now, the reason I wanted to personally bring on Michelle and have her show you what it looks like behind the scenes is because I remember exactly what it was like to have built this multiple six-figure business. Like literally, I was looking at 40K cash liquid inside of my bank account. I had multiple six figures, and yet I was looking at all of the systems that I had in place, and I was completely drowning and overwhelmed by admin, and I was bogged down by the amount of time that I was using to look at all these different tech components. And I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. And that's when I found Michelle's process that we're going to be talking about today. And honestly, when I implemented this, I personally saw a 10% increase in my profit, a 30% increase in my profit margin, and my conversion rates on my pages went up 10%, which is a significant impact when you're looking at the data, which we're going to get into today. So hopefully you're just as excited as I am. So with that said, let me introduce you to my friend, Michelle Fernandez.
Hello. Thank you, Beverly. Yes, this is so excited. And I am Michelle Fernandez. It is so nice to meet you. And Although I can't see the chat, I'm going to be asking a ton of questions. So just put them in there because I would love to know. I'm sure Beverly will read them out to me and all that good stuff and let me know even after. So drop your name, where you're coming in from, and even like what kind of coaching do you do? And I would like to take just a couple of minutes to share a little bit about me and the reason why I got into all this marketing everything and started my business. Okay. So in 2015, when my twins were turning 16, I was looking for a side gig to really help me pay for the car insurance because these cutie patooties were like starting to drive. We live in Miami. You can only imagine what car insurance is here. So I signed up for a network marketing company to be a health coach. And I quickly realized that I needed to learn some online marketing skills to be able to sell my programs and my services. So I just got into this to make $500 a month. Like that was my goal. That was my aspirations and all the things. So they told me, okay, you need to send emails to your people. So get Aweber. Does anybody here use Aweber? Okay. Let me know in the chat. And if I'm being honest, it was the cheapest at the time. And I was told, hey, look, you're just getting started. It's good enough because all you need is the ability to have email addresses and then send emails to your clients, right? So then I quickly realized, wait a minute, I need an actual landing page so somebody can actually enter their name and email so then I can send the emails to them, right? So at the time, ClickFunnels was the best, converting funnel software. So I had to get that, which was $97 a month. And I say the best at the time because when we're looking at like an Aweber, and I don't even know, Beverly, do you know if Aweber is doing landing pages now?
I think they are actually, but back in the day and back at the time, they were not.
No. And a lot of people do, like ConvertKit, let's say. They are doing landing pages, but they started out as an email software, right? And then they want to become this like one-stop shop for your marketing. So then they start offering other services or other features, I should say, like a landing page, but they don't convert prospects into leads or sales as well as a platform really built for funnel converting, right? So now my output was starting to go up and here I am thinking, okay, I only need $500, but now I'm paying for this. So now I need to make more, right? So then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing coaching. So I had to have a calendar scheduler, right, to book my sessions and collect the payments. So then I got Acuity scheduling, right? $16 doesn't seem like a lot, but instead of me earning the $500, now I needed to earn $643 a month, right? Because I'm adding all these software. So as my journey started to grow and I caught this bug and discovered I really loved all these things online marketing, I dove in, I honed in on the skill, things were going great. And that meant that my email list grew, which means that my Aweber monthly fee kept increasing and increasing at each new subscriber level, right? When I hit that new thing. So then I was constantly thinking like, when am I going to be profitable? Right? It's like every time I'm doing better, it's like, oh my gosh, that $500 is now $800, $1,000. Like how much money do I have to earn? And then I'm like, okay, the platform, Aweber, was growing with me, but it was also increasing in the price, right? So I wanted to share with you a quick story. So if you could picture this, right? Because I could not find the photo, to be honest, of me sitting there. So I am in a conference room in a hotel. I think it was like an A-Loft, and it was in Boston. So picture, like those conference room with the round table. So maybe like 4 or 5 tables. There's about 40 people in the room. The walls are just all glass, and outside you see the snow falling because it was January. And I'm sitting in my seat in my mastermind retreat, listening to my coach, learning all the things and really listening to what was possible for me and the future that I was so desperately wanting to create for my kids and my husband, right? It was like my kids were going to college soon, so I wanted to be able to go visit them whenever I wanted. We were going to be empty nesters, so I was like, oh, we said we wanted to travel here and there, like all the things we can do. And what I so desperately wanted to do was leave my 9 to 5, which really was like a 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week, right? And I was feeling so stuck and frustrated that I thought, this is not happening fast enough, right? This is I literally felt like this is never, ever going to happen for me, right? So all of a sudden this feeling came up and literally tears just started flowing, like almost uncontrollably, right? Just me sitting in the chair with all this stuff, all these things going around. I was just drowning in this self-doubt of whether I could do this online business thing and really be successful at it. And my definition of success at the time was, I just want people to be happy to work with me, right? And I want to make money in this business so I can leave my 9 to 5. And then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. This lady's in the front of the room telling me all the things that she's doing. She talked about her coach and all the things he did and et cetera. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm seeing all this evidence of what is actually possible. So if someone else can do it, then I totally could do it, right? It wasn't even the why can't I? It was I totally can do it. It was so weird how it just flipped for me. And what I did was I committed. I went all in. And at the time I was working with my mom. It was a mom-daughter mortgage broker shop. And when I got home from that retreat, I gave my mom a 1 year's notice, which everybody's like, 1 year. I'm like, okay, there was still some fear going on. If I'm being faithful, I'm like, I got to give myself time to really make sure I get my skills done to make money. But literally I said to myself, come hell or high water, 1 year later, I'm leaving. I am not pushing this date. And 1 year later, I did. I left a 30-year mortgage career. And it was so funny because my coach actually said to me, Michelle, I didn't think you were really going to do it. I was like, oh, you're my coach. You're supposed to believe in me. She goes, I know that I saw the ebbs and flows along the way. And I'm so proud of you for sticking to it, right? It wasn't the easiest thing, but I did it. So in the chat, let me know what you are so desperately wanting to create in your life that you are working so hard for, right? And I want to tell you that it is possible. Whatever crazy dream that you are thinking right now that's in your head, it's possible. And I want to be the evidence of what's possible. Beverly is totally the evidence of what's possible. So you just have to make the commitment to yourself that it's going to work. So if you are all in, comment in, committed in the chat. Okay. So after that year, I actually left and I opened up a boutique marketing agency running Facebook and Instagram ads and building out custom sales funnels, right? Marketing funnels for people and systems, all the things. And then I also added a fractional chief marketing officer to my menu of products, working with some of the top influencers in the business, and not just with fractional CMO. Some of them were funnel builds, some of them were ads. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm working with the best of the best. And in case you're wondering, like, what the heck is a fractional CMO? It's just a fancy way of saying a part-time chief marketing officer. And my main role in the companies is to make them money every single day and to save them money, right? So in order for me to optimize, scale, and exceed their revenue goals, it comes down to using strategies and specific tools that have the capabilities to deploy those strategies and allow you to make data-driven decisions to know what's working and what's not, so you don't waste your marketing dollars or your time. I've also coached course creators, thousands of course creators, coaches with their ads and funnel strategies. And one of my coaches was like, I'm calling you the unicorn of marketing because of your mastery skills in both strategy and tech. And on my journey to figure this all out, I really invested in going to events. And yes, this is my husband. I did make him go with me to several events, because selfishly and not so selfishly, because I wanted him to see what I was building for us in our future, right? We make financial decisions together and things like that. So I thought it was important that he see all the things that are going on, right? And to be that sounding board for me. And I also invested in coaching, like I had previously said, but along my journey was different coaches along the way, because I knew that I didn't know what I didn't know. And I definitely could not figure it all out on my own, nor did I have time to watch a million YouTube videos, right? Because when I was working full time, I worked on my business on my lunch hour or at night after the kids' extracurriculars or dinner, right? And when I was in my business full time, I was like, I had clients. I need to make money. Like, I definitely didn't have time to do that. I needed a curated system or a framework for me to follow to get results faster. And that's what coaches provide, right? So in these coaching groups, sometimes I would sit in a room of 4 or thousands, right? And I got super curious because I started noticing some patterns here, right? As to why some people were having success. And by success, I literally mean they're getting leads and they're making money. So at certain times it's like, wow, they're making $5,000 a month. Like, oh man, I would love that. And then other times it was like, they're making $100,000 a month. I would love that, right? But then I would see other people in the room not having any success. It was like we were all learning the same strategies from the same coach, but why wasn't everyone getting the same results? And what I discovered was that those with the success had the systems in their business. Specifically, they had a systematic approach to bring in new leads and new clients in an automatic way in order to increase some passive income so they can do what they love, which is coaching, right? So since then, I've been on this mission to get more coaches to have success, whatever their own definition of success is. And mine is to get this software, right, Optima Funnels, in their hands that would give them this systematic approach to bring in new leads and sales every day to double their revenue, their impact, and their profit. So I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on what these systems are that these top coaches have in their business that allows them to scale with ease. And I do know because I've either set them up myself or I've been back there to see what it is and optimize and tweak to make them better and convert. And what's really cool is the best part is what took me years to get these systems right, to double the profit can really happen for you in just a few months. Like Beverly was talking about, she increased her show up rate from 10% to 30% consistently, which allowed her to increase her sales conversions without getting new leads, right? Like Penny and Lisa, who now have all their systems in one place, all working nicely together with the ability to make data-driven decisions, saving them both time and money, right? Because think about 2 people's time is twice the amount as yours right now, right? And even like Elizabeth, who grew from 60 people signing up for a $1,000 program to 260 people sign up with the same ad spend, which means that she more than doubled her profit, okay? And the results that you see here are coming from Optima Funnels, which I'll speak more about. Beverly and I will talk a little bit more about at the end. But today we're talking about specifically the 3 marketing systems that will double your profit that most of the gurus are not telling you, okay? Now, I wanna help you, like Beverly, Penny, Lisa, and Elizabeth, really scale your coaching empire effortlessly and double your profit and impact more people without costing you more money. Does this sound good? All right, if you're ready to dive in, comment ready in the chat. Okay, so if you fall into one of these 3 categories, I would love for you to tell me who are you more like, okay? So are you like Beverly, who maybe had something going, either a course or a program, and part of her systems that she had running were missing some parts. And once she added in those parts, her sales increased, right, without spending time chasing down new leads? Or are you like Penny and Lisa, where you didn't even know if you're getting a return on your investment and wanted the ability to know what's working and what's not, working like in order for you to make these data-driven decisions instead of emotional decisions? Meaning like, I don't even know this is working. Do I know what I'm talking about? Like, nobody likes me, right? Nobody wants to buy my stuff. It's like, do they? Or are you just not set up? Or your messaging or whatever that Beverly's so great at is pulling them in, right? Okay. Or are you like Elizabeth, who you're spending your time, in the DMs and all the things, driving traffic, and you want a higher return on your investment of time and money, right? And if I can add in a 4th one, because I can't see the chat, I want to know which one are you, or are you like brand new and you're like, I want it all. And I want it all to be set up right from the beginning. Okay. So let me know which one are you in the top. So my goal for you as your fractional CMO today is to help you make every dollar you spend and every effort you do really get the highest return on your investment. You should want your marketing efforts and dollars to be efficient and effective. So you can be as profitable as possible. And Beverly was talking about earlier all the systems that she did to increase her things. And one of the things that I did when we're talking about profit, and that's why I keep saying profitable everywhere, is because a lot of times we're focusing on just the revenue dollar, right? So we're going after how much more, how much more, how much more. And if we're not keeping our eye on our profit and what can we do to increase the profit, I know there are people making $1 million a year and who are in debt or their expenses are more than $1 million. Sounds crazy. It is facts. Okay. So this is why what we're talking about, and I'm going to probably repeat myself several times because I want you to be focusing. Yes, you need the revenue in order to have profit, but we want to be looking at how we can increase the profit so you're not having to work so dang hard, right? And then it will all just increase beautifully. Okay. So at the risk of sounding basic, just in case some of you are new and never heard of anything I'm talking about before, and even if you have, I would love for you to have just an open mind because I might just be coming at a little different perspective than maybe something you've heard before, okay? So let's start out with what is a funnel. And I break it down in two ways to make things a little bit easier to understand, okay? So the first one is a marketing funnel and then the sales funnel, okay? So the marketing funnel is really the entire journey from a person becoming aware of your business, who you are, what you're about, right? To actually becoming a paying customer. So the marketing funnel includes like posting on social, connecting with people in the DMs. If you're at the point of running paid ads, that's what you would do too. Sending emails, right? Your customer fulfillment, right? All these things is the marketing. Now, inside the whole marketing funnel, there is a sales funnel. Now, this is the path that the customer takes to purchase from your business. Meaning once they know who you are, they know what you're selling, and then they are actually interested, you convert them from that lead to a sale. And whether you know it or not, every single business has a funnel, because every business presumably is trying to turn visitors into leads and then leads into paying customers, right? So most people think a funnel is like a landing page, like maybe even, or from your email, like the one that you signed up for to come today, right? But you're gonna now start noticing funnels everywhere. As you drive around, you're gonna see billboards, right? Listening to the radio, there's advertising, even in stores, right? Even on my cable, like when you press pause too long, like, ads come on the TV. I don't know, I either pause or fast forward through everything on my cable, like I'm anti-commercial, but anyway, even in stores, like as you come through the store, there's a whole process. So have any of you been through McDonald's? Okay, I know you all are fit pros, so probably not. Okay, so don't be judging me because I am not judging you. Okay, but I go often. Number one, I was addicted to McDonald's Coke, but I have kicked that habit. But my husband loves the coffee, so we go often. So then, what do they always ask you? Hey, would you like an apple pie with that? Right? So my husband turned to me, he goes, "That's an upsell." I said, "Yes, it is. You did so well at that conference. You learned a lot." And what I mean by this is when they're asking you, hey, would you want an apple pie with that? What they're doing is they're trying to increase the average cart value. So think about literally like a shopping cart. And as you put more stuff inside, you're increasing what the value is of that cart, right? Or how about this? If you've ever been shopping at this store, you go in the line and literally the line for you to check out, you are surrounded by all these other products tempting for you to buy that you had absolutely no intention of buying, so they can increase that average cart value, right? They do this at every grocery store with a little refrigerator, with the drinks, the candy bars, the magazines, like you see it everywhere, Target, gas stations, the airport. And the reason why I break down these types of funnels, or the funnel in the two types by marketing and sales, is that they are already a lead if they are in your store, virtually or otherwise, right? And I know you all don't have a store, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so what happens is the reason why businesses are not increasing their revenue and profit is they've created this gap because most people focus on just the sales, right? Once they get in your store, not the marketing. So they have a lot of missing pieces and not a full marketing system, or like what I like to call it, a marketing machine, okay? So your marketing system should have a set of strategies and tools designed to generate, nurture, and convert those leads into customers. And you're looking to do some things internally, like fulfillment-wise, which fulfillment is delivering on whatever you promised, right? To retain, resell, and get referrals, right? And then what we're then doing is looking at the bigger picture, which is your lifetime customer value. And what that means is the total income a business can expect from a customer over the entire period of the relationship. So is anybody tracking their customer lifetime value? Say yes in the comments. Now, if you're not, or I ask any questions, I'm just super curious. I am totally not judgy. So I don't want you to think like, oh, if I don't have it, I don't want to say. No, let me know, okay? Now, this is a metric that you should be tracking or looking to track at the bigger picture, right? Some of you who are just starting, you may not be able to track, right? Because you haven't had like ongoing years to be able to do it, but know that you need to have it in place going forward. So I say this is because when we're looking at the cost, what am I trying to say? The cost we pay to acquire a customer, right, will then help us see really how far those marketing dollars or efforts are actually going. So I'm going to give you an example, even if you're not running ads right now. So let's say, even if you're not, let's say you're like, I just spent 3 hours in my DMs, okay? How much are you worth per hour? So how many hours did you have to spend to get one customer, right? So you do that math, right? So let's just say I'm just going to throw out $100 to make it easy, and then let's say your program is 1,000. Okay, when you look at it, well, I spent $100, $1,000, I'm still profitable. And then if this customer renews, now I'm starting to make more and more money, right? Versus if it's like, okay, my lead or the cost to acquire the customer was less than $100 and your program is $100, then you're losing money. Make sense? Okay. So let's dive into the 3 systems. The first one is the lead system. Now, in order to stay in business, you need a steady flow of new leads and sales into your business every day, right? So the statistics say that if we are not growing at 9% per year, we are actually falling behind. So when I'm talking growing, I'm talking your followers, your engagement, your email subscribers, and then of course your revenue and profit. So the bottom line is that if you must grow in order for you to be in it for the long game. So whatever you wrote down as like the thing that is like, oh, this is what I so desperately want, right? That's what we're really looking to see. How can we grow? Because we are in it and we are committed for the long game. Now, the main goal of a lead marketing system is to really build this brand awareness, right? Getting more eyeballs on you and your business, really taking someone who has no idea who you are, attract potential customers, and get them primed and ready to buy. So I am curious, where are you or what are you doing right now to get a steady flow of new leads? Let me know in the chat. So is it a free trial? Is it a call, right? Are you offering some sort of coaching call, right? Is it a webinar? Is it a giveaway? Some discounts? Let me know in the chat. What is the system that you have in place that you are doing to get new leads? And then what do you have in place to amplify the content that you're creating to get more eyes on you, your brand, and your business? Like, is it doing live video? Is it collaborating with others? Is it podcast interviews? What are you doing? Let us know in the chat, okay? Now, are you posting more content? Exactly. I just noticed that Beverly asked, how do you track lifetime customer value? So I'm going to say, so what we're looking at is we need to know and be very clear on what the cost is to acquire a customer. Okay. So once we know that, then we're tracking, okay, how many people are coming in this year? And then are they renewing? So would you say that most people have like a monthly thing or like a 6-month program?
So I think it really depends. And so what I'm sharing with you, these are some of the questions that are coming up. So
Okay.
I'm sharing with you the answer since I know you can't see the chat. But I would say that a lot of us will do one of 2 things, or really 3 things. And I'll say that the first thing that they'll do is that they are traditionally selling sessions. And so they are trading their dollar for hour, but we are working on moving people away from the dollar for hour model and moving towards transformation. So I'll see 3-month programs and then move them into like maintenance, continuity, monthly memberships. That's typically what we see. Or we have people that use their monthly memberships and as their front end offer and then move them into transformation programs on the back end. So those are the two core programs that you'll see a lot of health and wellness professionals have in their business.
I love it. So yes, so when we're looking to calculate the lifetime customer value, then we're looking at, let's say you did the 3 session, right? So then it's like, okay, yes, you're getting some results, right? But those aren't the only results. To continue your transformation, you need another 3 months, right? So that's where we now start tracking the customer lifetime value. So I might be getting a little ahead, but since this question was asked, okay. So the way I look at it is, okay, let's say they're 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, right? And then they're like, you know what? I think I'm good, right? However, along your way, especially if you're doing sessions, group or individual, whatever it is you're doing, you should be doing some market research, asking them questions, identifying now what is the new problem that you are going to be solving for them to then create their next offer. Okay. So it's like, great, you're in the 9 months, you got this transformation that we promised. Now you have this issue, right? So maybe it was, I'm just throwing something out there, weight loss. I dropped the 30 pounds, whatever it was. Now we need to go into strength training. Now we need to go whatever, how are you going to extend it? What is that next thing that they want? So in customer lifetime value, now we're looking at it saying, okay, this customer has been with me now for a year versus 3 months, right? So that's how we're looking at and calculating it. So you can just do a spreadsheet or go through whoever and start like figuring it out until you're able to get at scale. And then we really figure out what we do. And then you're able to say predictable, because Beverly said that at the beginning, okay, on average, our clients stay with us for 12 months. So we know that every lead or every sale that comes in are pretty much going to be here for 12 months. So then you can calculate what that customer lifetime value is, right? And then I know that not everybody stays with everybody forever, but that's my goal. Like, how can I make them stay with me? How can I be providing them something new and fresh? Does that answer the question? Okay. All right. So where was I? Okay. So what are you doing to get more eyeballs? And like I said at the beginning of this, like you need that steady flow of new leads coming into your business every day, right? So here are some questions that I would love to know about your lead growth. Are you tracking? Okay. Drop tracking in the chat if you're tracking, right? So are you tracking where your leads are coming from? How many are you getting? And what did it cost you? Those are 3 good things that you should be tracking from your leads. Okay. And then how often are you tracking? Is it daily, weekly, monthly? So let me know how often. And I get this question a lot. It's like, well, how often should I track, Michelle? Right? They're like, I don't know. Well, it all depends on how much traffic or how much time are you spending. So let's just say you're like, okay, I'm spending 20 minutes or an hour in my DMs every day, right? You may not be getting a lot of leads coming in. So maybe that could be something you do at the end of the week, right? But if you just spoke on stage or you were on somebody's podcast or whatever, and then you know, like, oh, I'm getting a lot of people coming through, then that could be something that you do daily, right? Does that make sense? Okay. And then once you get all this information that you're getting off from all the tracking, do you know how to analyze it, right? So you can basically identify, where do I need improvement? Where can I optimize, which really means just kind of tweak it and make it better, and look at that, okay? And I like to call it optimize to monetize. Like, that's my little motto over here, my little tagline. So do you even know where to find your data, right? So if you're using a tool right now, does it have like place where you can find it, or you're like, I'm sure it's somewhere in here, but I don't know where it's at, right? I mean, I've been in client software and I'm trying to gather information. I'm like, I can't even find this. And I'm supposed to be the techie one over here, right? So it's like, you need to be able to not only find it, but look at it at a glance. So let me know in the chat, because I see this is where people struggle the most, is in interpreting the data. And remember, this is a no judgy zone. So no matter what you're doing or not doing, no worries, right? That's the reason you're here. That's why you follow Beverly. It's like just a reminder of what you need to be doing to hit your targets and scale your business, okay? Now, the second one is a nurture system, which this process involves really building these relationships with these potential customers over time by providing them with this relevant and valuable information. So the nurture system is really the strategy to help you automate and scale the process, allowing you to basically nurture a larger number of leads without sacrificing the personalization or effectiveness, okay? So that's where I think a lot of people, and Beverly was even saying, it's like, oh, I gotta be in my DMs like all the time, da-da-da. Well, do you really, right? It's like a good place to start, but not always a great place to stay. So I don't know if you've ever heard this, but they say that you need to hear a marketing message at least 7 times before they take action or make a purchase, right? Well, I really feel that it's probably double that now, because we are so inundated with so many ads on our phones, on the radio, TV, right? So let's talk about our marketing, our email marketing, because this is really the major bulk of what you're doing for nurturing, right? So when you nurture a lead that came from a specific lead magnet, which means like that's how they came in, that's how you captured their name and email address, the sequence that follows needs to have one call to action, meaning that if they signed up, right, for a free training, or they booked a call with you, you need to make sure that the email sequence is confirming their appointment and getting them assigned, like getting them excited to show up, right? Because if you don't nurture, or you don't have the nurture sequence in place, they will forget and not show up. And the show up is where you get the opportunity to invite them into your program and help them achieve the result, okay? So the nurture sequence continues them, getting them primed and ready to buy. Make sense? Okay. So what nurture sequences do you have in place? Let me know in the chat. So is it emails? Is it text? Is it DMs? Or like, do you have like a tickler system, like my grandma used to call it, where it was like you had the little box with the cards, and it's like you have a list of who and when they need to be followed up, right? Like which days you're going into the DMs and to, send a message to this one. Make sense? So let us know. Okay. Number 3 is your sales system. Okay, so this is a set of processes and strategies really designed to convert leads into paying customers. Hobby, right? Well, the main goal is to really streamline the sales process and maximize the revenue by optimizing every step of the customer journey. Okay, so I want you to think, I know if you're new or just getting started, or if you're not, I'm sure you remember, everybody talks about the customer journey. This is like vital to your business. So don't skip over any of that, because you need to know what journey they're on. And the coaches who are really, really good and getting the results that you want in your business have recognized that there's an overlap today that exists between sales and marketing, okay? So great coaches recognize that the buying process has changed. They understand that customers are educating themselves even more nowadays about the purchasing decisions long before they talk to a sales rep, okay? So here lies the issue. Most sales reps do not recognize this. They are seeing that the journey that the prospect has gone through before jumping on the call that has most likely got them primed and ready to buy, okay? So the goal of the marketing department is to do all the hefty lifting for the sales team. So if you are seeing sales as revenue and marketing as an expense, that is the core issue of what is killing your growth. Until you start seeing marketing as one of the drivers of revenue, you will be left behind. And here's why. Most salespeople, they see a lead come in, right? The call is on their calendar. They're like, oh, closed it. I'm the man, right? Give me applause. Everybody stand up. However, if you think of it, it's like, okay, wait a minute. They saw you on the Instagram feed giving tips and strategies. Then they watched you in your stories where they're connecting with you on a more personal level. Then they downloaded your lead magnet, right? Then they saw your ad and signed up for your webinar and spent 90 minutes with you and finally booked the call. All of that was the marketing department priming them, getting down through the funnel to make that buying decision. That was part of their customer journey, right? And I do this all the time with this boutique down the street, okay? I know this is different because it's a local business and we're talking about online marketing. However, I'm on Instagram, I'm like, oh, this super cute outfit. I take a screenshot, I walk in the store and I show the lady the screenshot, right? I say, hey, do you have this in my size? And she didn't sell me anything. She literally went, grabbed it, put it by the dressing room. If it fits, I pay for it. If it doesn't, I walk out of the store, right? Now, one girl that is really, really, she's the best salesperson in the store. She'll say, here you go. And then as I'm trying it on, she'll come and she'll be like, oh my gosh, have you seen this necklace? It would go really good with that. Or, oh, this purse, these shoes, right? So what is she doing? She is increasing the average cart value and her sales commission. Okay. But I did not make a buying decision, not because of the salesperson. I did it because of the marketing of what they're doing. So the marketing helps the sales team increase their close rate. Okay. Now, obviously, with that being said, the sales team really needs a system and strategy just the same as marketing. Okay. So let me ask you, what is your sales system? Okay. Do you have the right tools in place to help keep track of the leads, like when to follow up, how much revenue has been generated, right? And does your sales team know what you sell inside and out? Right? Do they know how to sell like that one lady out of the 5 that work at that store in the boutique that gets me to buy more, increases that average cart value? And more importantly, do you have a way to view at a glance who is in what stage of that process? Like how many people have book calls? How many people were no-shows? How many people are undecided, right? And they need to be followed up on. And then more importantly, can you see at a glance how much money is actually sitting on the table? Do you have the ability with your current tools that you have, right? And being able to see the conversion. Is this making sense to you? And even if you're like, I don't even have a sales team, Michelle, if you are the one on those calls, you are your sales team. Okay. So I want you to be thinking, how can I make those sales calls easier? I don't know about you, even still to this day, I mean, I've gotten a lot more comfortable and better with it, but it's still nerve wracking, right? Because you're like, this is my revenue. All the pressure is on me. And how am I going to do this? What if they say no? Well, think about what if they said yes, because you had these systems in your marketing in place, that it's literally like, it's going to hurt them more not to give you their credit card than it is to keep it to themselves. Okay. So is this all making sense to you? Do you see how this can relate to your business at whatever level you are now? The other thing is I don't want to give you that sense of overwhelm whatsoever, right? Because yes, there are all these systems, yes, you're building, but you can build them one at a time, okay? I don't want you to get to that point. I want you to think of what is possible for me, right? And then there is a secret system, and that is your fulfillment, okay? Where this is where you deliver on your promise. So you say, I have 3 sessions and we're gonna do X, Y, Z. This is where you're delivering it. And you're making it such an amazing experience that they become these raving fans and shout you out from rooftops. We're talking sharing your post on social, tagging while you're training or coaching them, whether it's in person, virtual, whatever you're doing, which in turn, right, allows you for the 3 R's, which are retention, resells, and referrals, which means you're adding to your bottom line without you having to go out and use your time and resources to get new leads and sales. This also increases your customer lifetime value. It increases your profit because it's cheaper to, it costs more to acquire a new customer than it is to retain one, right? So I want you to be thinking that. Okay. So just curious, do you have any of these systems, like a true system in place? Let me know in the chat. Okay. So if you have all 3, 1, 2, or 3, whatever that looks like. And I'm also curious, which ones are you missing? Okay. So if you only have one or you don't have any, no worries, because this is not your fault. And I'm telling you that most coaches do not, because they don't know that they need the systems in their business. They don't even know what the system looks like, which is why they are feeling stuck, frustrated, and overwhelmed. Okay. And just like I shared with you earlier at the beginning, that what I've been told is that the systems that you're using are good enough. Well, what you might not be understanding is what good enough is costing you. Okay. So good enough is costing you time, right? It's costing you time to enjoy with your family, with your friends. It's costing you time of doing everything manually, right? Booking the calls on your calendar, sending out the individual emails or text messages, creating individual invoices for payment. And it's also costing you time of getting to your freedom, that desperation of whatever you want to do faster, right? It's also costing you money. By not having all these systems in place and fully built out, you don't have an easy way to turn leads into clients fast. And I can guarantee you that you are missing out on revenue that could be in your business, or you are leaving money on the table. And those are 2 completely different revenue losses. All right, let that sink in for a second, because everybody thinks it's the same thing. And I'm like, no, you're losing money in all ways, shapes, or form. Okay. Then you are losing out, or it's costing you impact, because you want to make a real difference in people's lives. I totally get that and understand that. And what if your current tech setup is actually capping your ability to reach more people? So you might have even listened to a podcast or found someone on YouTube that told you to buy this tool, this app, this software that is supposed to make these leads like magically appear, right? And you might even think that you're on a platform that does the things that you need. However, you're experiencing the price increase, or you're experiencing, hey, wait a minute, I can't see the data. Am I really getting the leads that I say? Is this page converting, right? Because again, it was built to be an email software, and then they decided to offer funnels that are not even converting, meaning that you're driving traffic, you're sending people from your socials to this page and no one's taking the action that you want them to take. So do you see that how having these systems in your business will allow you to double your revenue and double your impact? Comment double in the chat, okay? So I really wanted to make this all-in-one marketing software that actually does all the things that we talked about today in one place, right? Without having to like duct tape everything together, meaning like all the different systems, like getting them all to talk to each other, which sometimes, it's just like siblings. It's like, yes, we're kind of whatever, but I don't want to talk to you. It gets like that, or we broke up and now I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay. That happens too. So it's like, what do I do now? How do I have this built out here and there? So that's when I say duct tape, it's kind of like what I mean. Okay. So this is why when I finally found the system, and you probably heard people say this all the time, I wish I had it when I was starting out. I literally wish I had it when I was starting out. I'm sure Beverly agrees, because it's like, oh my gosh, I wanted to start because I realized that I can make an impact and help coaches like you really start to streamline everything and really stop paying for all these expensive softwares and stop worrying if this duct taping all these different platforms together is going to hold up to execute the systems in order to double your revenue in less time than you're already spending. So I also was like thinking to myself, even just as you all were coming in, like anybody who's new, it's like, I wanted to have the ability, even for my business, right, to grow, that it will grow with me without costing me a ton more money. So I would love to give you a sneak peek inside if you would be open to that. Let me see if I can just share. Beverly, did you have any other questions come through?
Nope.
Okay, so I wanted to show you all the cool things in here. So we have like your contacts. So this is like the back end. I'm trying not to share too much information of other people's stuff. So in here, you will see that you have all the contact information at a glance. So you'll see name, phone number, email. You can even do something where you collect their birthdays and like acknowledge them in your groups, or send them an email, a text message, happy birthday. So there's all kinds of data as you create forms in that you can collect that will live inside here for the individual contact. And then this here, the contact source, I love, because sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, hey, how did they find me? Right? So this will say they came in through your healthy eating diet, or the meal plan this, or the whatever that, right? So it'd be like, man, they were interested in this. I can speak more to that, right? Then in this section, even though it's blank right now, you will be able to see all your conversations. So any emails, text messages, all the things. And if you have a team, you can actually come in here and assign it to somebody. So then you'll be like, hey, this is how we're going to split up the leads. And these are, or maybe it's like you have a team of coaches. You could be like, or maybe even if you want to do like their group somehow, you can do that in here as well. And then down here, you can send, if you have the phone number, you can send text messages right here, emails, WhatsApp. You can invoice them right here, all just from this one screen. Okay. And then over on the right, there's all kinds of things. You have activities, meaning like what sales pages did they go on, all those kinds of things. You can give yourself some tasks to do. You can take notes for all your clients. So you have everybody individually on the page right here. You can see what appointments they have scheduled, what documents to sign, all the things. And I'm going to open them all, but let's just go straight into calendars. So when we're talking about your calendars, this is really cool. So you can create individual calendars. You can create group calendars. It gives you all kinds of options. And then you can also do the availability based on whatever your hours are. So this is fully customizable. So you can say, hey, I'm only going to work on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays during this time and this time. And then you can set all of that up in here, and the page is still loading. So you can see that. You can also request payments as they book. You can also attach, like here, you signed up for this day, and I need you to fill out this form, and you put whatever questions that you have on that form that they would complete on that process. So that's available for you.
What I love so much about the calendar component too, since we're essentially taking a look at my some of my stuff, is that people have asked me, like, what are some of the ways that you can increase your show up rate for when people come to calls, and increase your show up rate for when people come to free trainings or webinars? And what I love so much about the calendars and having this streamlined, systematic approach is that a lot of the things that we do and that you're traditionally told to do, like email, calendar notifications, make sure you text and DM, you can set up all those automations in a customized way depending on the person who's booked an appointment. And you can have multiple different types of calendars all managed in one spot. Like, for example, I have podcast calendar, I have people who pay for consultations, and I have people who book profit plans. And as you begin to grow, this can be your one-stop shop for your calendar, but also your sales team calendar, also your coach's calendar. All of that can be seen in one spot, which saves you time and money, which is so amazing.
Exactly. And I apologize, I couldn't open it, but basically you can see all the availability, and like I said, with all the other things. And I'm going to show you the automations in just a minute. So this is conversation. So when you connect your socials on here, you can actually be DMing people straight from here. So you can be DMing them. You can actually, again, email, text them, whatever you need to do in here. So this is a little bit different than the actual clients themselves. So that's one other thing. And speaking of the socials, let me just jump over there to that. So you can connect all these social platforms, and then the idea is for you to then schedule your post. So hopefully
okay. And I definitely want to talk about this, because what's so cool about this, for those of you who already have the 90 days done for you content. So what happens with the 90 days done for you content is that you actually have a Google Doc or a Google Excel spreadsheet for the entire 4 months, because I give you 4 months, where you answer the questions. Okay. And then you can download it to a CSV file and actually upload it and have it all scheduled out for you.
Yes.
It's so cool.
So here's the thing right here where you take the CSV and you upload it. Okay. Beverly, have you used the statistics in here? So in here for the statistics on the social planner, you can kind of see, okay, well, what is going on at a glance? Yes, you can obviously go to your phone and check your phone, but it's because there are obviously other insights over there. But in here, you can also at a glance kind of see what's going on. So whether you're running your social or you have somebody else, or, like I would ask my daughter to do mine for a while. So they can also come in here and see certain things. I'm going to start closing out tabs just in case that's going to help us go a little faster. So the other thing we talked about were like pipelines and how like to show like book a call, how many booked a call, how many follow-ups, future follow-ups, how many closed, nurtured, what are you doing? And if you notice here, you can assign values to each of the calls. So let's say you have some programs that are, $500, maybe some are $1,000, some are this. You can assign values to the different types of offers that you have. So then now you can see, well, how much money is on the table that if I don't close, I am losing. Right? So then this way, it kind of encourages you and or somebody on your sales team to even push forward. Okay. When we were talking about the automations, to Beverly's point, I wanted just to kind of briefly explain what an automated workflow is, right? Because you might hear automations and then you might hear workflows. I like to say it's an automated workflow. So what this means is that when a trigger happens, so it could be a tag was added, a call was booked, right? Or they bought a lead magnet, whatever that looks like, then you can set a specific actions that happen after that trigger. So when I'm looking at this, you're going to see how many actions this actually has for you to take. Okay. So some of it could just be, I want to send an email or I want to send a text message. Maybe it's sending you a notification, right? So you're letting yourself know, hey, this person bought, or hey, this person signed up, welcome them in the Facebook group, right? You can let your team know. There's so many things that you can do in these workflows in addition to just sending an email reminder, right? So think about bigger picture as you're growing and or, hey, wait a minute, what do I do now? Like, is there a goal that you have that once they hit a sale, you want something else to happen, right? Because all of these workflows can then trigger another workflow, right? So then they bought, so now they go into a buying workflow. So you can see all of this in here. You can grant them access if you decide to create like a course or something. You can grant them access to that membership or that course area for them to do things. So you can see in here, there's all kinds of things for you to set up with the automations. Was there something else you were going to say on that, Beverly?
Well, one of the things too that I was going to say, there's two quick things, right? Because I know that sometimes when we're looking behind the scenes, it can seem so like, oh my gosh, especially if you're not techie, I'm never going to figure it out. Well, don't worry, we got some things for you in place, so you don't need to worry about that. But number two, when we're dealing with the power of following up, right? A lot of the things that Michelle was talking about was how you can increase your profitability and your revenue with the leads that you already have. This is how you do it with the automations and the pipeline. Yes. Because I can't tell you how many people have, and part of what we do here in my world at B Simpson Fitness is that we build those pressure-free sales system where it takes what it takes until it takes. And you've got people that come in and they're ready to be a buyer within their first, 90 days. And then some people, they've been hanging out with me for years before they say yes. And if it wasn't until I had these pipelines that I could actually see, not only could I see and keep track of when they come in and where they are in the process, we had put in really easy executable things in place so that we can keep track of people years later.
Yes. To your point. So I want to just show, I don't know if I'm getting too techy, but I just want to show you how easy something is. So you can create these conditions. So to Beverly's point, you can say like, hey, this lead came in or whatever. And then let's say 10 days, 14 days later, whatever it is in your system, you can say, hey, do they have a buyer's tag, right? Or do they not, right? And then based on that, it can say, oh, they don't. So either tell Beverly, hey, Beverly, you need to follow up with this because this person's waiting, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can put in to notify even yourself as a reminder that, hey, this person still hasn't bought, following up. We're all about trying to reduce that lead to sales time. So there's all kinds of things that you can be doing in here. The funnels. This is something, these are actually landing page funnels, which we're going to show you a lot more about this in just a second. But one of the things I wanted to show you in here is that you can actually see your stats in here. So when I was talking about looking at a glance of what is actually going on, are your funnels convert? It will show you in here like, okay, what is the opt-in rate? What is that conversion rate doing? Am I at the benchmark I should be? And then that's how you decide whether you need to optimize or maybe leave it as it is and scale your time in the DMs or whatever you need to do because you know the page is working. It'll also show you in here like exactly how many lead sales that you have and the dollar amounts coming in per funnel step. So that's also pretty cool. The other thing I wanted to show you is that we have community. So it looks very, I don't know if you all are familiar with the platform School. It's very similar to that. And it could replace your Facebook groups. So what's really cool is you can have these as free or paid, right? That you can have somebody coming in or coming out, and then you can create these channels. So when we're talking about saving you time and money, let's say you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go in my group for 15 minutes every day or whatever that is. So I'm gonna go straight to the questions first, and I'm gonna see what everybody's question is, okay? Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday wins. Let me go in and celebrate people. Let me see what everybody's wins were, right? Rather than having to scroll through a whole discussion, right? Like on Facebook, every time somebody comments, like everything gets moved around. This way you can set the channels and let them know. And then when they're in here and they go to write whatever their question is, what I like about it too is it has a title. So it's easier for your eye to go to, okay, what is the real thing that they want? And then they can decide which channel they want to put it in, okay? And you can even add in a course in here. So let's say there's, I don't know, some tutorials or something you want to make as a part of this, you can add that in here as well. And you can even have fun with it with the leaderboard and seeing like who's commenting the most and, gamify it in some way, which is, people love that. One of the things that I also wanted to share is that if you ever wanted to do a course, we have native video hosting. So you don't need Vimeo. You don't even need to post it on YouTube, which drives me crazy when you see all the what to watch next because it's usually your competitor. I hate that. Anyway, so on here you have posting, you can attach files, you can attach links, whatever you want in here, which is crazy cool. And then one of the most important things I did want to share what's in here is that we have this 24/7 chat. So, you can come in here and you're like, okay, calendar, I want to learn how to every time I'm streaming, it goes so slow. But you can click on calendar and it'll have some how-tos. And if you're like, oh, I can't figure it out, you can come right in here and chat with support 24/7. So no matter what time, day or night, they'll come in here and help you figure it out. So that's really, really cool. Were you guys liking that? Did you have any questions on that? Because this is like so crazy cool. And one of the things I wanted you all to notice, if I had to say like the biggest takeaway from today's training, Beverly, tell me if you think that this is not the biggest takeaway, is that you definitely need a systematic approach to bring in new leads and new clients in an automatic way to not only increase your revenue, but also create some passive income so you can do what you love instead of getting bogged down in the tech of it all, right? And the problem that most people face is that they're spending hundreds and some people thousands of dollars doing things every month using a suite of software tools that you need to duct tape together. And remember I told you earlier that I have a customer with like 150,000 emails. Did I tell you that yet?
No.
I'll tell you that later. Okay. So this is what happens. Like, okay, you have Mike. He tells me the other day, like, it's exhausting, Michelle, trying to piece together the different software solutions. And each month I see a significant chunk of my revenue going into tools that barely integrate together. Okay, that means they talk to each other. I'm afraid that if I can't streamline this process soon, I'm going to hit a growth ceiling and I won't be able to scale my business. I put this in here. I'm like, Mike, can I take this? Because this is how I felt sitting at that table crying. Okay, this is how I felt. And it was just overwhelming because here's the thing. You just want to be a coach. You want to be a health coach. You don't want to be a marketer, right? It takes a lot of tech involved in building out all these things that allows you to have the possibility to have the financial freedom, live life on your own terms, and more importantly, help thousands of people and make this huge impact. So it comes down to a couple of choices, right? You can continue doing the things that you're using now, duct taping it all together. You can even possibly hire a tech VA to do it all for you. Just so you know, it costs anywhere between $3,000 and $20,000. I know it's like, don't fall out of your chair. Depending on how big your business is, how many marketing systems, right, you're looking to build, and really possibly taking that chance, which will most likely happen, that you will hit that growth ceiling of your revenue and your impact, okay? And the second option is to get on the fast track to having that financial freedom, live a life on your own terms, and make that huge impact by joining Beverly and I with this done with you approach to creating the marketing systems without the tech drama. So together, I'm excited because I want to help you leverage the power of this all-in-one marketing tool and finally unlock your time, your revenue, and new opportunities for impact, okay? Optima Funnels is the ultimate all-in-one growth solution for your business that really provides you the tools and support that you need to increase your bottom line while saving you your precious time and your money, right? We want to make you more money. We don't want to take more money, okay? So what's included? So I showed you some of the back end, and there's way more stuff than even what I showed you, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. It's just literally the possibilities are limitless. Even honestly, some of the stuff I'm like, I've never used it, right? Because it's not, I don't need it in my business, basically. But you get unlimited funnels and websites, unlimited forms and surveys, unlimited domains, designs, unlimited sales pipelines so you can keep track of where your customer is at in the journey, unlimited contacts. So it's like no matter how many subscribers that you have or social media people that you have, unlimited calendars, unlimited automations and workflows, unlimited courses with a native video hosting, which means that you just put it right inside. Like you don't have to have a third party for that. Unlimited member communities and unlimited team members. So it's like you might just be by yourself today. So as you start building on your team, you don't have to pay per person on your team. So there's like a lot of softwares where it's like 1 seat, 3 seats, 5 seats, and then you increase. It's unlimited, okay? So the value is $297 a month. But I wanted to really make the first 500 people who jump on board really make this a no-brainer. Like think of this as your VIP pass to get in early and score some like epic perks, right? So it's your chance to be among the very first to benefit from everything that we offer and really make your mark with Optima Funnels. This is your golden ticket to really turbocharge your business. So the founding unlimited members price is $97 a month, or if you want to pay annually, it's $970, okay? So I do want to state this. There are some pay-as-you-go pricing, meaning that if you're choosing to send text messages, you just send them as you go, right? Depending on how many emails you're sending every day, every month, then you pay as you go, okay? So here's the thing. The other platforms, you are paying per email, but you're actually paying per person, right? So when we're looking at, you have 1,000 subscribers, you're paying for those 1,000 subscribers no matter what, versus I'm now at 5,000, I have to pay for those. So sometimes you're paying more without even realizing it, because when you pay for the person, you're being charged of how many emails they think you're going to send. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I just want to add on to this because this was one of the biggest rubs for me before I decided I wanted to go on, or I wanted to move to Optima. Okay. Which is this idea that you had to pay as you go, because people see that and they think, oh no, I'm going to get all these charges? So then I started to do a little bit of digging. And what I realized is that other companies like ConvertKit and Aweber and MailChimp and all the other common, email marketing platforms that are out there, they charge you monthly rates based on your subscribers. But what I realized was that they're actually charging you per email that they think you're going to use. So that's why they come up with these pricing, because they think, oh, you're going to use your emails once a week, or maybe you'll email them every day or 3 times a day. If you're like, some of these other people like Williams-Sonoma and Athleta and other internet marketers. So what ends up happening is they actually charge you more and you don't realize it because you're not using the service like that.
Exactly.
So it's like Planet Fitness, where their model is built on the fact that they think you're going to use it less than what you may or may not use. So I then realized, oh my gosh, despite the fact that I email every single day and I have different segments, sometimes I send multiple emails a day, depending on where you are in my customer journey or in your process, I'm still paying less than I was paying at ConvertKit.
And this is where I wanted to say, I have a client that has we're literally like growing, like it's out of control, how quickly we're growing. Okay. She has over 150,000 emails, and he still pays 60% less than he did on ConvertKit. Okay. I think on ConvertKit, he was paying, $8,000 to $10,000 a year for the system. And then as we're growing, I don't even know what it would be right now. And remember, this was just for emails. I'm not even going to count their automations, because their automations just don't even, like, what did they say? Hold a candle, whatever. They had no calendar, no funnels, no nothing, right? So it's like, if you're going to send 10,000 emails, you will pay $10, right? Mm-hmm. So just simply how this works is that you put in like $50 into your account and then into your wallet. And then every time you send a text, make a call, send an email, or use Content AI, whatever those are, those other options, then it'll automatically replenish it. So even think about like Content AI, if that's something that you're into or want to get into, or even the phone calls, it's like, you're not going to call all your people, right? You're not going to use it all the time. So you don't have to pay for a $50, $100 platform, right? For when you're not even going to use it. This way you use it as you go. Make sense? I just wanted to point that out, because I know that's something, and it's just a benefit rather than a hindrance, in my opinion. So when you can definitely build your marketing machine on your own, but you don't have to. So what we do is we do a one-on-one, a personal onboarding call, which we help you set up all the tech in the back end. So we install your domain, we integrate with Stripe or PayPal, so you can actually collect your money, right? We set up your email, the text message, even help you get AT&T approval. And if you're like, what the heck is that? From whenever you have a phone number and send out text, now all the AT&Ts and all these people require you to get approved. So it's not like you're spamming everybody, and we handle all that for you. We set up your calendar, team members, help you integrate your socials, all the things, okay? And then we have what we call Optima Funnels, your operator's manual, okay? So this is like I say, because you're building your machine, so it's an operator's manual. So we add new trainings every week. And then plus we have the chat, right, where you can search. But this is really to help you get your funnels, your membership sites, your courses, and everything built faster. We even have something in there that will help you migrate over to Optima Funnels to make things easier for you to make the move. And then we also have a members only community that's going to be coming out, where you'll be in there with other people and you can see what they're doing with their funnels and how they're having success. Okay. And then like I showed you, we have that 24/7 live chat support where you can either search for something or actually message them. And then I've seen it a few times where it's like you're going back and forth, you're still not getting it, right? Or you're not seeing the button. And then they'll say, hey, do you have time? We can jump on a quick Zoom, right? And then they'll do it so you can knock it out and move on. And what I love about this is that, like, if it's the weekend or late at night because you can't sleep or you are on a deadline, it's like you don't have to wait for Monday or that next morning for help. You have it there. Okay. And if you're still wondering, like, oh my gosh, is this right for me? I wanted to remind you what we spoke about at the beginning of our time together, that most of these other platforms are really not what we thought, right? Or I'm just this huge number in this thing. And yes, I am looking to grow my company. And I also have my values, and my agency is boutique, right? So I'm like, how can I keep Optima Funnels like having that boutique feel? So we're looking to keep our numbers somewhat lower than, let's say, like a ClickFunnels base. So we're still able to provide you with this high touch support that you don't get anywhere else, while still keeping the monthly fee low enough for you really to get started. And Beverly, these are our Optima Funnel bonuses. Do you want to tell them what you were thinking about?
Oh yeah, of course. I will. I'm loving it. I can't wait. So what we're going to do, and I'm just going to go ahead, if you're already curious and you already know that you want to come join us, I'm going to put the link in the comment and I'm going to pin it so that you can come and, I guess I can't pin it, but it's all right. It's right up there. It's at the top.
Yeah, it's optimafunnels.com/BSF.
Okay, so what we've done is we've done two things. Okay, so first of all, I have been working on Optima Funnels since January, and I have loved I literally took my entire operations cost from about $1,000 a month doing the exact same thing. We brought it down to about, it's anywhere from $150 to $300 per month, given our all of the things that we do. Okay. That's not going to be yours, by the way. This is literally mine. When I've got 3 team members, we've got sales team, we do text message, we do calls, like we do the works. Okay. So, and we were paying $1,000 a month and we brought it down to 300. So that's a significant save on the business in addition to the more services that we have. Okay. So that's number one. And so with that, because of that, we brought a lot of our clients onto Optima Funnels. And so so what we did is we built out the funnels, the automations, and the email sequences. We did that work for you. So this is to help in an effort to mitigate your tech stress when it comes to, setting it up. So especially if you feel like I'm not techie, I can't do this, it's too hard. We took all of that work on for you. So we set up, for my accelerator clients, we've set up all of the funnels that we teach inside of our curriculum. Now, what I recognized and realized is that so many people, they might not have access to that type of support, or they're just not at that level thinking, oh, I'm not doing any of that funnels or all of those funnels. I don't have any of that. I literally am just starting, or I've got a few emails in place. Well, we built this out for you so that we can save you time, headache, stress, and just get you started so that you can actually start generating revenue so that when you're ready to scale, we're going to be there for you and help you scale faster. Okay. So what we built out for you, if you're not an accelerator client, is we built out you answer a couple of questions, a plug and play, book a call funnel. So you have your premium, your high ticket or low ticket, whatever your premium services, whether they're in person, online, or a combination of both. We've set up the landing pages for you so that they opt in, so that they purchase, and we gave you the automations to help nurture so that you can do and actually execute the things that Michelle was talking about earlier inside of her training. So you'll be able to capture them, you'll be able to nurture them, and you're going to be able to systematically see where they are in the process. And we did this part for you so that all of that tech, all of that headache will be gone. And all of those calendar processes that we put up, we built that out for you. So you can actually literally answer some questions and your customer is going to go through this process in a systematic and seamless way.
Exactly. Share my screen so I can, so while you're finishing talking, I could show them.
So this is exactly what it looks like. And you can, and we've included some trainings for you so that you can customize the polish of this so that it looks like your brand. And if you're like, but Beverly, I don't have a brand, that's okay. We'll show you how you can build one inside of Optima Funnels.
Yes. So everything, and if you notice on here, like this is it's so easy to customize it to you. Beverly has given you all the prompts that you need, that you can just come in here and literally you just come in here and you change some colors around. I'm going to just show you really quick if my computer cooperates, how easy. So you can come in here and you can, okay, I'm going to change it to how to, that's it. I don't know, right? If I want to change a color of something, I can come in here and then put in my own hex code, right? Find a color or change it. Whatever it is that you want to do, it's that easy. It's literally plug and play for your funnel. So if you're like, oh, I'm not a guy, I'm a girl. Okay. You come in here and you upload a picture of yourself. Okay. It's literally that easy.
Oh, so exciting. I love it. I love this platform. It's why I wanted to bring it to you. It has literally not only saved me thousands of dollars, it's also helped me increase my revenue. And not just me. Don't believe me, believe our clients. I mean, it helps. It's also any one of our accelerator clients who's on the platform. They can go ahead and pop in here and share with us. Oh my gosh, I even wrote emails for you. And I'm going to tell you right now, these emails that we've written, I should have that number for you, but this is hundreds of thousands, if not 7 figures, are directly responsible from those emails. Now, I want to just share that those emails are and I share that with you with the full disclaimer that is just to prove to you that the process works and that if we can do it, why not you?
Yes. And then here's like the automation that you talked about where we have the triggers coming through. She even already pre-built what actions they need to take. It's already set with the emails already in. So you just make the changes on the emails over there and it's already set up in the customer journey and the proper cadence that your customer should receive. It's literally built out for you.
So now the intention for us, in addition to this, because it can still feel a little bit overwhelming. So for me, when we are running this promotion until the end of September, it's our intention that we get all of the founding members locked and loaded by the end of September. So in the first week of October, what I'll do is I'm going to do a tech training where you can come with your Optima funnels and I'll be there helping you every step of the way to just really move some of the things for you so that we can get locked and loaded and you can start generating revenue by the first week of October.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. So now they can see the whole everything that they are getting. So go to optimafunnels.com because literally this is a no-brainer for $97 a month. And it's already, Beverly's giving you, the hardest part is like the writing of the stuff. What do I do? She's giving you all the prompts. It's literally a no-brainer. So go to optimafunnels.com/B as in boy, S as in Sam, F as in Frank. And then click on the I want to get started and then enter your contact information and your payment information and we'll get started today. Now, life is really just too short for tech frustration. So don't let complex software stunt your business growth. Prioritize helping people over battling technology. Like you really deserve a much smoother experience. Now, I wanted to share some FAQs that I normally get. So if you have any questions about anything, about the software, about what we talked about today, start dropping them in the chat and then Beverly will be on the lookout, and then I could go through some of these. So what kind of service do you provide? So we talked about the 24/7 customer support. We have the easy to navigate tutorial library in both the operator's manual as well as that support dropdown. And if honestly you're like, I don't even want to deal with this tech stuff, I just want to hire it out, we have some agency recommendations. And even if you come through our own agency, we will give you a much discounted price than like some of the tech VAs charge, because the bulk of it is built out. We would just need you to provide the copy, and then it would just easy for us to do. Can I cancel at any time? Absolutely. This is free to cancel. There's no strings attached. There's no contracts. What I will say is that if you take the time to build it all out, you're not going to want to leave. You definitely want to stay because it's all going to be working beautifully. If you do and you built it out, you don't get to take it with you. And then when you decide to come back because you're like, oh, I thought this other one was going to be good, then you'll be subject to whatever the prices happens to be at that time. Okay. Can I use Optima Funnels if I already have a website? Absolutely. So if you are using WordPress and it's rocking and rolling, don't mess with the success that you're having, right? You can still use the features like the forms, like the calendars, all that you can embed on those pages. I will say, if you're using like a Wix or a Squarespace, I'm probably going to tell you that yes, if you have it, we can still use it. However, I will say you're better off moving off, even if you go to WordPress, right? It's just a better performing website. And again, as your fractional CMO, I'm all about you streamlining, making more money, and saving, okay? Do you offer a free trial? We do not at this time. Sometimes we have to make bold decisions in our business to scale. And really, this is a no-brainer money move, as well as a no-brainer in how can I sell more, retain more people, and really just grow and be super profitable. Okay. So if all this did was to save you time and your team time from drowning in those manual tasks and giving you hours back that you otherwise would be spending like in there all clicking, it would totally be a win, right? And if all this did was give you peace of mind, keeping all your tools in one cozy little spot, saving you enough cash to add to your profits, right? That is definitely going to be a game changer. And if all it did was give you a marketing system that was always ready whenever you are for that next feature that you wanted to do to grow your business and really offering your support like your BFF, that is a huge success. Okay. So go to optimafunnels.com/BSF for B Simpson Fitness. And I want to ask you one last question. Are you ready to replace your current tech stack and stop that duct taping, right? Just get rid of it. Even if it's cute with cute little whatever on it, we don't want it, right? And stop spending hundreds of dollars every month and replace your other tools. So we're talking Optima Funnels replaces WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, ClickFunnels, Kartra, Lead Pages, Kajabi. It replaces Aweber, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, Keep, Drip, Mailchimp, like whatever you're using, Typeform, Google Forms, School, Mighty Networks, Roots, Facebook Groups, Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, right? It replaces all these things. So definitely go to optimafunnels.com/BSF, click the button and enter your information. Do we have any more questions?
Let's see. No, ma'am. I think we're good to go.
I'm excited for you, honestly, because this is why I joined forces with Beverly, because she's being the coach that you need her to be, and that she's literally handing you all this stuff because she wants you to be so successful. So myself and my team, we're so excited to set this up because we're like, oh, once they get in it and get it going, like it's literally going to take you a fraction of the cost if you were to try to do all this on your own. So I'm excited for you all to hop in and just start plugging and playing. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for your time. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Even if you don't get into Optima Funnels, I wish you all the success, and I hope that all your dreams come true, as corny as that sounds, because like there's just so much that you have to look forward to. And yeah, and put these marketing systems in place at whatever pace that you want to go to. Don't get overwhelmed. And hopefully I will see you on the inside and be able to welcome you to the Optima Funnels family.
Thank you for listening to the PT Profit Podcast. If you like this episode, chances are your friends will too. So it would be a huge service to us if you would please leave us a review and share with your friends on your social media channels. When you leave us a review, be sure to take a screenshot of it and email that screenshot to my team at info@bsimpsonfitness.com. And we'll send you a very special Instagram podcast that will show you how to create compelling content so that your ideal clients come to you and you go from wanting clients to a wait list of clients ready for your services. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.